Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The wigs, the contact lenses, Edward's sideburns. What the f is this?
It's eclipse time.
Don't flip!
A man is attacked on his way home. Now, girl, Miss Victoria, that's how you make an entrance. And again, we have Mr. Edward with his 100 years old shenanigans talking about marry me with no ring. Still, where's the ring? That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing, Edward. How you want to talk about marry me and where's the ring? So Miss Bella tries to visit Jacob and fix things with him because we all know how things ended between them in the last movie. Mr. Edward, control freak, said, no the hell you're not. I'm gonna fuck up your truck and you ain't going nowhere. He didn't have a problem leaving Bella in the last movie when Victoria was looking for her. But now he has a problem with Bella going to see Jacob alone. Again, boy math. Edward, shut the fuck up. I'm getting tired of your bullshit.
That pissed me off for real. Why do you act like that?
Like what?
The way that you act, you don't see how you act, why people don't want to be around you?
I feel like not a lot of people talk about this. Let's talk about how the did Edward went to Florida. If you've ever been to Florida, you know it's sunny. It's sunny everywhere. How did he went to Florida? And how is he going to explain being with a jacket and long jeans covering all of his skin when the temperature outside is probably at 95 degrees? You see what I'm saying? How did he went to Florida and nobody noticed that he was Mr. Sparkle Sparkle? Here's the first scene that we see Victoria. Now, when I first saw this in the movie theater, it was dark. This scene is very fast. When I see her face, I'm like, who the f is that? Mr. Jacob said, wet hair reveal, and he snitches on Edward. Then when Bella jumped in the motorcycle with Jacob, the team Jacob girlies, they lost their mind. And in this shirtless scene, again, the team Jacob girlies. And I'm gonna be very honest, I was like, Edward, like, he doesn't have a shirt because why are you shirtless in the middle of the street? Jacob gives Bella the explanation of imprinting, and he knows he's not imprinted on her. So Jacob, calm down, Jacob. You're not imprinted on her. So what's going on with you and this obsession with Bella? You need to calm down. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The wigs, the contact lenses, Edward's sideburns. What the f is this? The makeup. And you might say, oh girl, but I see that you have a wig. I see it, that you have a wig. There's a difference. I'm not trying to sell you that this pink hair is my natural hair. I'm not trying to sell you that I was born with this pink hair. You see? They are trying to sell you that that's their natural hair. They're not selling it. Girl, nobody is buying it. The wig and makeup department, what was going on? They were in the struggle bus. Like, I know that in previous movies, they were wearing wigs, some of the actors, but in this movie, it's like a disaster, girl. The wigs, the makeup, especially Edward's sideburns, why? Why? Jacob said, let me try this I love you thing once more, and he kisses Bella against her consent. Now, Mr. Jacob, that's what we won't do. I gave you a pass in New Moon because you were behaving, but this, I will not take this shit.
If you ever touch her against her will again,
don't do this.
She's not sure what she wants.
Don't do this.
Let me give you a clue. Wait for her to say the words.
And I have to say it again, Miss Rosalie ate with that backstory. She said, I'm going to wear this bride gown regardless. She got her revenge. She served. Now it's training time, and baby, you're not ready for this scene. It's not as iconic as the baseball scene, but it's still very good. Jasper entered his major pain era, and he said, this is how you fight.
Battle scars. All the training the Confederate Army gave me.
Let's talk about it. When I first watched the movie, again, I'm not from the United States, so the United States history is not my forte. I didn't know what the Confederate Army was. I just heard the word army, and I thought, oh, he was in like a military type of man. And then when you see him in the backstory, you're like, oh, okay, he was like a police officer, something like that. But no, he was in the Confederate Army. I was shook this time around. Jacob Lord just dropped. He's the original alpha. You little boys that want to come to the internet and talk about how to be an alpha male, this and that, y'all don't know shit. Bella said, let me tell my dad that I'm still a virgin because I'm planning to lose my virginity tonight. Thank you to Miss Alice that she left the house for me and Edward alone. So I see you, Bella. Edward said, Miss Ma'am, I won't touch you until you marry me. And finally, he gets out a ring. And girl, I was like, oh, okay, the ring. I wish he didn't have no ring. Because this godforsaken ring, this is a sin. I don't know what's this. Edward, you have so much money. I want a heart-shaped diamond. I want a flower-shaped diamond. What is this? Awful, ugly. No. Put that shit back in the box and throw it down the river. But then later we learn why, after all this time, that he decided to give Bella a ring. He wanted to let Jacob know, hey, I'm marrying her. Edward beefing with kids. It didn't work because Bella didn't wear the ring. This scene is so funny. I'm not scared. They don't float in the water. They can walk in all the way underwater. Girl.
Let's face it, I am hotter than you.
You Jacob girls were so thirsty back then, and I remember all of this so clearly because they were screaming so much. It wasn't like a, woo, you know, like just one cheer. No, they screamed. I remember being like, no, he's not. No, he's not hotter than Edward. We all know that Edward is very sneaky. And here, confirmation. He knew Jacob was listening and he mentioned the marriage thing.
Kiss me. I don't know what happened.
We love it.
I have a lot to say. The first time I saw this scene, I wanted Bella to die. I wanted her to die. I was like, why would you do that to Mr. Precious Edward? How could you do that to your future husband? How could you do that to your vampire boyfriend? And then she says, I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. We all know what happened. We saw it. But now, I mean, she's only 18. She should live life. Again, just to make it clear, I don't like cheating. I don't condone it, right? But she's 18. I feel like she's too young to be talking about marrying a vampire for the rest of her dead life. Like, I don't know. Like, I wasn't as mad at her this time around because she's so young. Like, yeah, she kissed another man. Well, now the fight of the newborns is kind of slaying.
Don't let him do this to us.
Here we can definitely see that this Victoria is not Victoria. This Victoria, I don't know her. And I have something to say to you Twilight production people or casting director, whatever. Why would you do that? Why would you recast Victoria? We have the original Victoria. She didn't have a lot of screen time in the first and second movie, but she had her screen time. We could see her face and she served what she needed to serve. She did her job. Now this movie, the Eclipse movie, is supposed to be her movie. It's supposed to be her time to shine. And you decide to recast her and you want to give a bullshit excuse talking about, oh, we had scheduling conflict. It was her time to shine. And now you replace her with Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't have nothing against Miss Rachel or Miss Bryce. But I must say, Miss Bryce Dallas Howard didn't need this movie. She had her time in Spider-Man. And then she had her time in Jurassic Park. She had her time. And on top of that, Miss Bryce Dallas Howard is a nepotism baby.
I have to laugh. I'm sorry. This is so ridiculous. I can't stand here. I can't sit here and hear this.
She's a nepotism baby. She can get whatever job she wants. She didn't need to be in Twilight. This actress, she needed this. And not only she needed it, she is the original Victoria.
Nobody is better than the original.
Nobody asked for a recasting of Victoria. Why would you not respect Miss Rachel and give her the opportunity to finish her job and her interpretation of Victoria? Like, what is wrong with you? It was her time to shine. It was her time to shine. This is not my Victoria. And what the is this wig? You go from this upgrade that you had in New Moon to this wig. Like, at least give her a nice wig so she can do her interpretation of Victoria. But no, you give her this wig. What is this? Girl. The worst thing about this movie is the wigs, the makeup, and the recasting. Let's move on. And again, we see Edward getting his ass beat. Thank you, Miss Bella, because she stole the idea from one of the tribe stories. And she's like, okay, let me cut myself to distract the vampires. And that's when Edward can come through, kill them both. Now, the Volturi made a surprise appearance. I have another question. How did the Volturi didn't smell the stench of the wolves? I mean, I know Jane was a little bit suspicious because she says this. Miss Bree served better. Bella is a Virgo, confirmed. Bella is not like other girls, confirmed. And Bella liked the ring, confirmed. That's it. That's all. This movie could have been better. Now, Mr. Jacob, read the room. Get a hint. Bella don't want you. I'm sorry, but Bella don't want you. She's just low-key using you. I started feeling bad for Jacob. He just needs to get out of Forks. Go to New York City. Go to LA. Once you're in a new town, go out. Meet some people. Meet some girls. Get a drink. And I promise you, when you go back to Forks, if you do, you won't like Bella no more. You just need to get out. Go out. Let's go back to Mr. Edward. Bella asks, "You're not a virgin?" And he just laughs. I thought we were gonna get a little backstory of an ex-girlfriend of Edward or something, but no. Nothing interesting. He just wants to talk about his murderer era, like Mr. Edward. We already know this. You've been talking about it since the first movie. And I love that Charlie clocked the graduation caps. The wedding was very pretty. Stephanie Meyer said, "Present." And the wedding toasts are the funniest part of this movie, especially Emmett.
I'd like to propose a toast to my new sister. Bella, I hope you got enough sleep these last 18 years, because you won't be getting any more for a while.
Bella's mom is a singer. I love her. Now it's honeymoon time. We are in Brazil. Edward said, "I'm a multilingual king. Let me show off my Portuguese." Bella sees the bed and you know she's been horny. Now here, Bella, you know the honeymoon was coming. Like, we all know this. You get married and you go to your honeymoon. Why are you shaving in your honeymoon? I don't understand. Why is she so nervous? Like, she's been wanting to Edward since the first movie. And now she's nervous? Girl. They sleep together. Edward breaks the bed. The next day, Edward feels bad for hurting Bella, but do you think she cares? She doesn't. She doesn't care because she wants more of that vampire dick. Listen, she wants it so much that she starts dreaming of it. And when she realizes it's not real, she starts crying. Literal tears. Begging for it. I can only imagine how good it was. It's all fun and games till guess what? Bella is pregnant. Now riddle me this. If Edward is dead inside, it's only venom flowing through his veins. How come his sperm is alive? I thought his sperm couldn't even swim. Not only is Bella now pregnant with a demon child, it's been 2 weeks and she looks like she's 8 months pregnant. This demon child is eating her from the inside. The wolf said, "We need to kill Bella and the baby because that's an abomination." And Jacob said, "Nuh-uh, I'm the alpha. I won't be following you, Sam." Bella said, "Bring me a blood smoothie and let me share with y'all the possible names I've been thinking for my future demon child. Exhibit A, Edward Jacob. Exhibit B, Renesmee."
I'm not gonna say nothing today.
Bella's spine couldn't wait any longer. It broke and it's delivery time. This scene is so brutal. I really struggled to watch this scene. And then after giving birth, the baby comes and bites Bella because why not? It's a demon child. And Bella dies. Because Bella died, Jacob is sad and he's like, okay, it only makes sense for me to kill the baby because the baby was the one that killed Bella. Cue iconic scene. Jacob imprinted on a baby. Now Jacob, you lost me there.
Y'all losing me. Y'all losing me, man. Y'all losing me.
I told you, Jacob, you needed to get out of Forks. Go to New York, go to LA, go to Miami. But because you stayed there, look what happened. You imprinted on a baby. And then we end with the movie, Bella opening her red eyes, entering her vampire era finally. This movie, if I had to describe it with one word, it will be low-key boring. Let's prepare for the grand finale, breaking down part 2. This movie has the longest intro with all the credits names of the franchise. 2 minutes and 50 seconds of just names. That's insane. So Bella wakes up. She feels like she's on an acid trip. She can see everything very clearly. She can hear everything very clearly. She can feel everything very clearly. She's hot. I'm sorry, but what is it with these faces? Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The CGI baby.
Oh, Lord.
I don't understand how the people of Twilight, how could you CGI a werewolf and it looked very real? And then the baby, you just fuck it up. Why would you use a CGI baby? Why wouldn't you get a real baby? So Jacob dropped the imprinting news on Bella, and Bella is definitely not happy for obvious reasons, because why are you imprinting on a baby? Now Miss Bella, again, what is it with these faces? I don't know what happened here to Bella in the last movie, but the faces were not it.
It was Nessie who wanted me there.
Nessie? You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
Then who the fuck is the Loch Ness Monster? And let me tell you something, Bella. I would rather him calling her Nessie, like the Loch Ness Monster, than call her Renesmee, because what the f is that name? Jacob, once again, he says, the tribe secrets. I'm gonna tell Charlie that I'm a werewolf.
Put your clothes on. Now this may seem strange, really strange, but...
That also got me thinking, thank you, Jacob, for snitching on Bella and Edward, because Bella is such a bad daughter. You are an only child, and you're gonna fake your death and make your dad go to a whole grieving process, funeral process, instead of trying to live with him. Control your thirst. What type of plan was that, Bella? Now, Miss Irina, she entered her snitching era, and she's like, oh my god, I saw a demon child. Let me go to the Volturi and tell them. Arrow was excited for the news, Vecna as well, and now the Cullens once again have to prepare to fight. In the preparation for the fight, we are introduced to a whole lot of new vampires, very cool vampires. We have Miss Amazona, we have Mr. Avatar the Last Airbender, we have Miss Electro, and my absolute favorite duo, Dracula 1 and 2. It's battlefield time, and I'm sorry, but the Volturi once again ate. They were dressed up. And once again, Aro, Mr. Aro, he ate with that opening line. Vecna is like, oh my god, Carla, you are a liar, and the tension is rising. Girl, and you are not ready for this. The fight begins with Alice's kick. And once again, you are not ready for this scene. The Carlisle head scene. Girl, when I tell you, everyone in the movie theater was screaming when this happened. Everybody gasped. This was very, very shocking. Now, I know the vampires are dead inside, right? We have talked about this, but I never knew that their limbs would come off so easily. I never knew you could Karate Kid chop a vampire head off. Now, let's talk about the lack of planning from the Cullens to the battlefield. Because let me tell you what my plan of attack would have been. So I would have had Miss Amazona blind the Volturi, put them in a ayahuasca trip. After all of them are under the trip, you will have Mr. Avatar the Last Airbender tsunami towards them. Keep the water hot so it doesn't melt. Once they are wet with water, they won't understand what's happening, because remember, all they are seeing is the Amazona trip. So after they are wet, you're gonna have Miss Electro send an electro shot to all of them. They're gonna be immobilized. Mr. Avatar the Last Airbender is gonna come in again, burn them, and that's it.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch.
Because all these deaths were so unnecessary. That was a very slick. Going back to Mr. Avatar the Last Airbender, I don't know what made him think that ripping the earth in two, making a new Pangea, was a good idea. You can control the elements, and you think, oh, let me slice this open. But surprise, it was all a dream. The fight is over, nobody died, it was all an illusion, it was all Alice's vision, and then Miss Alice has her last That's So Raven moment and sees a vision of Miss Renesmee and Mr. Jacob, showing us that they're gonna be forever happy. Now, let's rate all of them. Twilight is the best movie. New Moon, I would say, I learned how to love it. Eclipse, you had the potential to be the best movie out of all the 5 movies, because the storyline was good, but you didn't. Breaking Down Part 1, I would say, is unnecessary. Breaking Down Part 2, the happy ending, boring. I think I would have liked them more if the fight was real, but then it ended up being boring. So that's my opinion on the movies. Now, as an adult, I am still a fan, of course. So that's it. That's all for this rewatching the Twilight saga. Thank you for watching, and bye!